Hi guys, people have asked me my opinion on Tim Sherwood being hired as the director of football at Swindon Town. For me, I think this is a very good appointment for many reasons, to be honest. I think Tim Sherwood is the kind of manager I like. He's very passionate, he wants to win every single game. I think that he's done a good job when he was academy coach or manager at Tottenham. He did an outstanding job in bringing those youth players on, getting them to play football in a certain way. And he loaned quite a lot of players to Swindon Town, Grant Ward, Massimo Luongo, Ryan Mason, Pritchard. And a lot of those players now have gone on to play Premier League football or at least Championship football. And when he managed Tottenham, they finished sixth position. He didn't do a lot worse than Andre Villas-Boas. And I think he did a good job at Aston Villa. You've got to remember, he did keep them up in the Premier League. He did take them to the FA Cup final. And when the new season started, I know results weren't good in the first 8 games, but I think, you have to really blame people like Randy Lerner that didn't invest in Aston Villa. I think they've been doomed for a long time. And I think there were many other managers before Sherwood as well that didn't really get the backing that they deserved, and I certainly don't think Sherwood got the backing he deserved. So I think he was unfairly sacked, in my opinion. And him coming to Swindon, look, I think he's got a huge amount of experience. He's obviously played at the top level as a player in the Premier League, so he knows what it takes to play at that level and how to get there. And he's also managed in the Premier League and in Europe. And I think that can only be a good thing for a club like Swindon Town that's in League One. I also think it will take a huge amount of pressure off our head coach Luke Williams, who, look, I think when he took charge last season, he kept us in the league. And they were a bit of a mixed bag of results, to be honest. This season, it hasn't been great. But what a lot of chairmen do now is sack managers, and I think it's quite good that Lee Powers decided to keep him on as head coach and not sack him, because he is a good coach and he's a young English talent. And I think as a young manager or coach, you're going to go through very difficult times when you first go into management, and you can tell that Luke Williams isn't comfortable or isn't confident in the position that he's really in. You can tell in interviews he doesn't know how to express his opinions, and I think he's got so used to playing one way of football that he doesn't really know how to adapt or change tactics. And I think people have asked, do I think he will be undermined? I think possibly he may feel that, but I also think it's a great opportunity for him to work under Tim Sherwood, because I think Tim Sherwood will not only Luke Williams gain a lot of new ideas, fresh ideas, and a lot of experience from someone like Tim Sherwood. I think Tim Sherwood will bring the best out of Luke Williams as a manager or a coach, and bring him out of his shell a little bit. So I think it's good guidance for Luke Williams, to be honest, and also Ross Embleton. So I think we all need to work together, because we need to get out of the relegation zone. And hopefully if we can, Tim Sherwood's talked about changing the style of football, which I think we need. We do need to put more balls into the box. We do need to be a little bit more direct at sometimes. I think we do need, let's have a few shots. Let's be confident in our play. And we need to be a bit more physical as well. and get stuck in at the back and not get rolled over. I think November, December will give Tim Sherwood a good idea of who he wants to keep at the football club and who he doesn't want to keep. And I'm sure, someone of his calibre can attract some very good players to the football club in January. He's already highlighted he wants to bring experienced players in, probably people that have played at this level, that know what it takes. And, with his contacts, I'm sure he could probably get decent players from Premier League clubs or Championship clubs. So I think it's good, and I think the players can only be inspired by someone like Tim Sherwood, giving them a team talk, picking the team, and being on the touchline, hopefully. So I think it's a good appointment. And, if Lee Power, as we know, has done business with Tim Sherwood before, and obviously one of his closest friends, and it might even make Lee Power invest more money into the football club if he trusts Tim Sherwood 100%, like he said, and lets Tim Sherwood do all the dealings. And I think we should also give Lee Power a second chance, because at the end of the day, he did save our football club. He did put it on a better financial footing. My problem with him since he saved the club is I don't think he's really invested into the club with the squad, and I think the lack of experience that we have in the team is missing. Look, I think the football he's got us to try and play is a good, attractive style of football. But I think sometimes in League One you have to be a little bit more defensive and dog games out, and you have to be a bit more direct and physical, because you're coming up against bigger players, and that's how football works at this level. So I can understand Lee Power's style of football, but you have to have the players to be able to do that. And at League One, you don't always have the players that can be skillful. Sometimes your only way is to go direct. And I think, his policy of youth players is not such a bad thing, because I don't think that young English players get a chance very much anymore at any club. And I think, he's been trying to give players an opportunity from non-league to play higher up, and then he wants them to progress from Swindon to the Championship or the Premier League. So in that sense, I think he does do a good job, and he wants to give them a platform to play football and a decent style of football. But with our position at the moment, it's about getting results, and getting results playing any old way at the moment. I don't think we can be too picky on playing this tippy-tappy football, because it hasn't worked this season, and we need to try and freshen things up and change things to try and firstly get out of the relegation zone, and hopefully try and climb up the league table, and maybe even get a late playoff push. But we will see. Let's see how it goes. But that's my thoughts on Tim Sherwood. I think only good things can come from this appointment, and I think we should embrace the change and be excited by it. So that's my views on Tim Sherwood.